It is going to take us quite a bit of time to ensure that we can put our city back on the path that the city council voted for.
But he says he's doing what he can in the meantime to make the city's jail system safer and smaller.
And smaller is exactly the name of the game, because the city was just able to close part of Rikers Island, a notorious jail at a time when criminal activity is reaching levels never seen before, taking over sidewalks and businesses, overwhelming the police. While the mayor himself takes aim at America on the 250th birthday of our country, a country he's proud to have recently become a citizen of, that he also says has been rigged since its very inception.
How much money does somebody make here on Canal Street selling fake Gucci?
I sell in 2 months. I make 20,000.
Why can't I videotape you on the street? Do you know what the First Amendment
is? But you're posting it online. You're not supposed to do that.
Why?
That's illegal.
You're not supposed to sell illegally on the streets of New York City.
But the bigger issue is that the city's current jail population is around 6,500 prisoners. The 4 new borough-based jails designed to replace Rikers will only hold 4,000 prisoners.
America, in their view, is an arena of supremacy, where only a select few are allowed freedom, where not all are created equal. America, if you ask them, becomes less the more people it welcomes. The rest of us, they insist, should be grateful for merely being allowed to visit.
This is ridiculous. I think it's insane.
This goes almost a mile, maybe 2 miles sometimes, left and right.
As for those who peddle Marxist lies about our heritage, who tell our children that we live on stolen land or that our heroes were oppressors, they're doing something much worse than slandering our past. They are slandering and attacking our future.
Right, let's shut down our jails and let criminals do whatever they want, go wherever they want, no consequences whatsoever. And while the mayor says doing this makes our city safer, nobody in favor of these ideas is able to explain how letting criminals hang out on the streets by the businesses and people they might be accosting does any of that, because it doesn't. But as we just heard from the mayor, on the 250th birthday of our country, this is an unjust place, which apparently has always been run by and for the powerful, even though the people who started it fled the powerful King of England and his regime. But now there's a new regime in the capital of capitalism, and it's got big plans. And they're not good plans. In fact, nothing the mayor has done recently since he got into office has been a win for New Yorkers. Every single initiative has had more of a cost to it than whatever the benefit supposedly is. Take, for example, the idea of frozen rents, which might mean some New Yorkers get a 0% rent increase on their $800 apartments instead of the 1% increases they were paying in the past, which is just gonna force their landlords to jack up rents on their free market apartments and their commercial storefronts, which means your rent might be frozen, but now your boss might make less money, and now your grocery store might make less money, which means the costs for everything you want to pay for and the amount of money entering your paycheck are gonna go down because your rent can't. And this idea of shutting down jails, who exactly does that benefit? Allegedly, it benefits criminals, who the people running this place don't think should be in jail at all, because they're not criminals. They're victims of an unfair society run by oppressors. But the problem with this view is, if you're gonna reward criminal behavior with unlimited freedom and zero consequences, how is that going to convince those who do the wrong thing to change their ways? Well, it doesn't, and that brings us to the real reason New York City is in a lot of trouble. If you're going to do everything you can to protect criminals and embolden them, you're going to reap what you sow. And this is happening every day on the streets of our city, which are being taken over by illegal marketplaces where stolen products are sold in broad daylight and nobody lifts a finger to stop it, which explains why you can't buy anything from CVS anymore without someone unlocking it, even if it's a pretzel. And who pays for all of this? Well, that would be the law-abiding, who are the ones subsidizing crime in a city they believe is run by folks who care about them. But watch this next clip and tell me if that's really the case.
Buckets full. Now this is an area where me and my cameraman got jumped by a mob of these fraudsters, and then to my surprise I see the man once again here on Canal Street after he had already been arrested by the feds.
Oh, that's crazy.
Wait, no way. That guy got arrested by ICE and now he's back.
Yeah, he's back. That's crazy.
I remember you. Why?
I'm a businessman and I have my own family. I have 7 kids in America. And you taking a recording at me for illegal.
Because you're doing stuff illegal?
No, you doing an illegal thing. Posting at my picture online and my video to make money. That's what you're doing. That's how you live in your life.
You're filming me right now?
Yes, because that's how, I'm not posting you online, but you posting me online to make money. That's how you live in your life. I don't live my life like that.
This is called journalism.
Yes, that's what the news does.
And I do business. I sell food all day. Me and my wife is a family business.
And why do you?
So he sells food all day, but every time Nick Shirley goes to Canal Street in New York City, he just happens to find this individual on the streets in New York City selling things that are illegal, counterfeit goods on the exact same street corner where he apparently actually is all day. Isn't that interesting? Now, what's fascinating about this is this same individual ended up getting arrested. But obviously, things transpired in a way that has allowed him to remain in the country. And that's what's so crazy about this. We're being told by people like New York City's mayor that we need to release as many criminals as possible because this country is run by people who want to just deport everybody. But here this guy is. He's still on the streets. America's got laws. And whatever those laws are, however they are interpreted by a judge, the Trump administration is following them. But you know who's not following any of their own laws? The people that run New York City, because they're allowing folks to sell stuff on the streets in an illegal manner all the time, and it is absolutely wreaking havoc on the local businesses that are here. You cannot run a business if there are so many people selling things outside of your business that nobody can physically get inside. Meanwhile, the amount of money the city is losing because it won't enforce its own laws is absolutely insane. Watch this.
This goes almost a mile, maybe 2 miles sometimes, left and right, northwest, east, south. And the city council recently released a report that if these areas were being taxed, New York City would have $1 billion back in its pockets. And you wonder why we have a budget deficit.
That's crazy.
It's because open air criminality like this and fraud happening on American streets is not penalized. And it's not the cops' fault. The cops have arrested some of these people 15, some of them 19 times. It's the politicians' fault. They will not pass legislation that criminalizes this behavior.
In fact, they recently passed legislation that decriminalized this behavior, which is why it's now everywhere. People are no longer arrested and put in jail for breaking the law like this. You can have a boatload of counterfeit goods coming out of a van, selling it on every sidewalk in an entire neighborhood, violating all kinds of laws, and nothing happens. You don't even need a permit to do this anymore. The worst the city can do is come along and give you a fine. And if these people are making $3,000 to $5,000 a day, the fine is inconsequential to them. There is no fine that is going to stop this type of behavior. They are making so much money. And now the reason this is such a big disaster in New York City is because it has become the hotspot for this kind of thing. There are many people who flock to this area just to buy stuff off the street. Now, has this always happened in New York? Yes, but you've got miles of this madness going on. It used to never be this prevalent, but now it is. And I guess if you're gonna run New York City and you're gonna decriminalize everything, it's not a big deal if you shut down the jails. There's nobody in them anyways, and you're just paying to keep the lights on.
You got 5 pictures here.
Okay, but I'm asking you, is this not you? And is that not your rap shit?
No, that's not me.
So
mine's right there. Yeah. So this is different people in there.
Okay, well, keep
So
going.
what do you
Is
do?
that I just asked you.
You guys have nothing better to do. You want to sit
rap
right here?
So you just let me just go
Of course. Where?
I'm asking you if this is your picture and this is your rap sheet. That's a question.
That's from Homeland Security right
Dog,
there.
that is a rap sheet long enough to track me. And you're saying you're here not breaking any
You know how
laws?
long I've been in America?
I'm asking you. This is a question, then you answer that part.
Over here, bro. What are you talking about?
Is this your track record?
No, that's not
Okay,
mine. No.
interesting.
Okay.
Interesting. So this is all false.
what's your name,
The
then?
Department of Homeland Security is making
So
false
what's your
statements.
name?
Interesting.
My name's Nick Shirley. What's your name? Puppy.
My name is Spec Mohammed. Mamadou. Yeah.
So that's not. Can you film that? That's not your track sheet.
No.
That's not your rap sheet. This is false.
That's his picture.
Then we'll serve a correction.
Yeah, bro.
Right?
No,
We'll send the Department of Homeland Security.
no.
If this is false,
So what's crazy about this is the people that are out on the street working at an illegal market, running an illegal market, which they're at every single day. It's not like that's the only thing they're up to. They are involved in, allegedly, a whole bunch of different crimes. It's not just that they're selling stuff on the street that is illegal and is totally counterfeit. There's other stuff going on as well. And what's crazy about this is we're told that decriminalizing behavior and closing jails makes our city safer. But the reality of the situation is that it just emboldens people. It tells people that, hey, if you can get away with this level of crime, maybe the next level's achievable, and maybe the next level's achievable, and maybe the next level's achievable, because there's no consequence at any of these levels. And that's a big disaster. That's hurting the legitimate companies. Look, right here, where this whole thing is happening, you have retail for lease. Right here, you have an abandoned storefront. Why is there nobody running that storefront? Well, why would you run it? The people outside your storefront are making thousands of dollars a day, and your rent is tens of thousands of dollars a month for that storefront. You wouldn't open it. You would be stupid to do that. You're going to be put out of business by people on the sidewalk paying no rent who are never asked to leave.
Tonight, a crackdown on the sale of counterfeit merchandise in Chinatown. NYPD raids near Canal, Hester, and Mulberry Streets led to 17 arrests and collected $150 million in merchandise.
Oh.
Officers recovered watches, jewelry, perfume, sunglasses, and plenty of knockoffs of other kinds.
Wow.
Police also recovered $145,000 in cash.
Wow, $145,000. You know why this doesn't get a lot of attention? Because every single news organization in New York City knows that the day after this takes place, all the criminal activity is going to come right back. And it did after ICE was famously down there on the streets of Canal Street, and they arrested the individual who's now back and says he has a restaurant and he's never actually there. After that happened, within 24 hours, everybody was back. Why? Because the risks do not outweigh the rewards at all. And I know that they said they just made 17 arrests, but think to yourself, why are people getting arrested if the act of selling things on the street has been decriminalized? Well, what happens is they're stopping people, they're identifying people who all have ID and are able to identify themselves, and they're figuring out that these people have long rap sheets and that some of these people have outstanding warrants. And if somebody is selling things illegally on the street and they have a warrant for some other heinous crime, they're supposed to be in court, they never showed up, there's an arrest warrant for them, that person then gets arrested. So the people they're taking off the streets did something else in addition to breaking all of the laws you see being exposed in these videos. And that's what's just so wild. It's all allowed, it's all encouraged, people are emboldened. But if it's your view that all of this is taking place in a country that is evil and is wrong and is run by criminals, what's the big deal?
As we mark 250 years, what do we see? We see a city of contradictions within a nation of contradictions.
Oh my goodness.
We see the wealthiest country in the history of the world, one where children go to sleep hungry while the world's first trillionaire hungers for more.
What?
We see monopolies that dominate every industry and oligarchs who buy elections. We see masked agents terrorizing our streets, eating food cooked by our undocumented neighbors before spiriting them away in unmarked vans.
None of what he's saying here is true. First of all, I would like to know the names and the families of all the children that he's talking about who are going to sleep hungry in his city, because you know what? The U.S. government and even New York has extremely generous programs that provide free food for everybody. They were even giving out prepaid debit cards to folks who just arrived in New York and got off a bus from the southern border and weren't even supposed to be here. So don't tell me that this is a city or a country that is allowing people to go to sleep hungry. That is not happening. Also, these unmarked vans that are spiriting people away after ICE agents allegedly go to some restaurant that's run by people that aren't supposed to be here. What was the name of that restaurant? When did that happen? These are not real examples. This is just hyperbole being used to justify attacks on our country, to say that it's not great, to say that it's a terrible place, to say that it needs to be destroyed and remade in a completely new image that has absolutely nothing to do with our history on America's birthday of the 250th anniversary of our country, which is an incredible country, which isn't any of the false statements we just heard.
Our rights here given to us by the God who made us, and those rights shall not be infringed.
Right.
Americans believe in self-reliance. We look at success with envy not, and I say that.
Right.
Some people are envious and some people are not. We are not, but with admiration, and we earn it, and we will always earn it, and we will always respect it. We are an incredible, good, kind, and generous people. always ready to help a friend or a neighbor in need. No one has ever given more to charity, ended more hunger, cured more disease, or done more to uplift humanity than Americans, and no country ever will be able to match it.
Yet if you listen to the communists, this is a totally rigged system. But Trump brings up something very interesting here. Now, you and I, we're watching this video, and we hear the president say things like, we're not envious of the success of others. And how many of you get up every single day and see somebody who's doing better than you financially and just hate that person and want to punish them and wish that they were locked up and view them as like, we don't think that way. We aren't out there looking at Elon Musk and saying, oh, gee, this guy, oh man, every day I get up and just hate the fact that he has money. That's my money. Like, we're not doing that. And to put this into perspective, I started doing New York City real estate in 2008. That's the same year Ryan Serhant started doing real estate. Now, he has become the most successful real estate agent in the entire country. We started at the same time. I obviously made very different decisions than he made. So did everybody else who started at the exact same time. Does that mean he didn't earn it? Does that mean he's not working hard? Does that mean he's not smart? Does that mean he doesn't know how to grow business? Absolutely not. He deserves all the success that he has. But the reason communists don't think like that is because they believe that the game is rigged, and that's what they've been teaching people, which is why the people that live in New York were able to elect a mayor who says these things.
In their view, is an arena of supremacy, where only a select few are allowed freedom, where not all
What are you talking
equal.
about?
America, if you ask them, becomes less the more people it welcomes.
What are you talking about?
America, they will tell you, belongs only to those with the right accent or the right shade of skin. The rest of us, they insist, should be grateful for merely being allowed to visit.
The rest of us?
How
what
small
is he talking
they are.
About?
How weak. How unoriginal. At every moment in our past, those who led through exclusion and isolation have tried to win power and enrich themselves by turning us against one another.
Which is what this is.
Division is the oldest trick in politics, and the cheapest. But time and again, including 250 years ago, those forces of division have been vanquished by the forces of progress.
I mean, the only division that any of us see is a guy who gets up and says that this country is unfair, it's run by oppressors, success is wrong, it should all be taken away, the government should run everything, what you have should be given to somebody. I mean, that's as divisive as you could possibly get. But oh no, it's the people that have been running America for 250 years that are all about divisiveness and division.
Americans honor excellence. We admire boldness. We respect ambition. We are a nation of dreamers and believers, warriors and explorers, doers and fighters. In every human endeavor, Americans see an unfinished competition. What is strong can be made stronger. What is fast can be made faster. What is great can be made greater than ever before, and that's what's happening with America. Show us a mountain, and we'll just climb it. Show us an ocean, and we'll just cross it. Show us a problem, and we will just solve it.
But the question that I have is, if that's true, if America's really as bad as the communists are telling us, why do they all want to come here and take it over? Why don't they take over some other country that's not as bad and terrible as America is? And why are we so prosperous in America? Why does every single person in America live better than people do in other countries and in other parts of the world? It's because we have capitalism. It's because capitalism lifts everybody out of poverty. Capitalism can feed the world, but communism can't feed anybody. What do you think about that? I'll see you in the next video.